The girl ran her first marathon. She had never run any race before. She suffered multiple stress fractures, but she still crossed the finish line. This is her incredible story. The day was hot and humid. The sun beat down on the tarmac of the running track. Athletes in their singlets and shorts were warming up, jumping and stretching. The air was filled with nervous energy and anticipation. It was almost time for the race to begin. Among them was a girl who was about to run her first marathon. Her name was Sarah. She was a vibrant and determined young woman with a passion for running that had been sparked just 3 years earlier, when she was diagnosed with a chronic disease. This diagnosis was a turning point in her life. It forced her to confront her mortality and seek alternative ways to improve her health. That's when she discovered running. At first, running was a struggle for Sarah. Her body ached, her lungs burned, and her mind screamed at her to stop. But something kept driving her forward. A refusal to be defeated by her illness, a determination to prove to herself that she was stronger than her diagnosis. Slowly but surely, she began to find her rhythm. The pain subsided, replaced by a sense of exhilaration as she felt her body growing stronger with each stride. As the months passed, Sarah's dedication to running became evident. She devoured books on running, studied training regimens, and experimented with different gear. Her living room became a shrine to her new obsession with running shoes of all shapes and sizes, medals from local races, and inspirational quotes covering every available surface. Her friends and family, initially concerned about the toll running might take on her, began to rally behind her, recognizing the transformative power of this newfound passion. They supported her through the aches and pains, the early morning practices, and the endless races. Together they formed a network of encouragement that helped Sarah push through the toughest moments. But it wasn't just about the physical transformation. Running became a meditation for Sarah, a way for her to clear her mind and focus on the present moment. She found solace in the repetitive motion of her feet hitting the pavement, the wind rushing past her ears, the rhythm of her breath syncing with the world around her. In those moments, there was no room for worry, no space for the anxiety that her illness brought. There was only the road, the run, and the unwavering rhythm of her heart. Sarah's dedication didn't go unnoticed. People began to take notice of her progress, inspired by her tenacity and intrigued by her unusual journey. Local running groups invited her to join them. Fellow runners and coaches offered advice and words of encouragement. And as Sarah continued to improve, her confidence grew. She set new goals, participated in more races, and each time she crossed the finish line, the cheers of the crowd resonated deeper within her, echoing the triumph not just over the course, but over her own limitations. It was during one of these races that Sarah met a group of marathon runners. These seasoned athletes with their tales of long-distance runs and grueling training regimens were a revelation for Sarah. It was like discovering a hidden world where endurance was the norm and pushing beyond perceived limits was celebrated. Intrigued and inspired, Sarah began to dream bigger, her gaze fixed on the ultimate test of endurance, the marathon. Determined to prepare properly, Sarah sought out the guidance of a marathon coach. This coach recognized Sarah's raw talent and unwavering spirit and tailored a training program to help her shine. The plan was rigorous, requiring long runs, strength training, and an unwavering commitment to her diet and rest. But Sarah was ready. She had tasted success in shorter races, and the discipline she had cultivated was now her second nature. Months went by and Sarah's dedication to her training was nothing short of remarkable. She woke up before dawn, her resolve as steady as the sunrise. Each mile she covered brought her closer to her goal, the marathon. Her coach's words echoed in her ears. "You have the heart of a champion. Now, let's build the legs to match." And with each step, Sarah felt her legs growing stronger, her spirit more resolute. But the path was not without its hurdles. Sarah faced injuries that threatened to derail her dreams. Stress fractures, the cruelest of running's tricks, tested her resilience. The pain was excruciating, the setbacks disheartening. Yet Sarah refused to yield. With gritted teeth and a heart full of resolve, she pushed through the agony, determined to make her marathon dream a reality. The marathon day dawned bright and clear, a perfect day for running. Sarah, clad in her running gear, stood at the starting line, a mix of emotions swirling within her. The energy of the crowd, the nervousness of the runners, the solemn announcement of the event's beginning. It was all a blur to Sarah. All she could focus on was the road ahead, the miles that separated her from her goal. With a deep breath, Sarah began her run. The initial miles were a comfortable pace, a tactic she had learned to conserve her energy. As she ran, she reveled in the familiar rhythm of her stride, the wind against her skin, the cheers of the crowd echoing her progress. She was in her element, lost in the world of running where pain had a different meaning, and the finish line was a beacon in the distance. But as the miles rolled by, Sarah's body began to feel the toll of the distance. Fatigue crept in, her muscles screamed in protest, and the finish line, once a comforting sight, seemed to mock her with its distance. It was then that Sarah's training kicked in, the hours spent pushing her body to its limits, the sacrifices made, the injuries endured. It all came down to this moment. She dug deep within herself, summoning reserves of strength she didn't know she possessed. With each step, she pushed through the fatigue, the pain, the doubts, driven by an inner fire that refused to be extinguished. As she ran, memories flashed before her eyes. The first time she laced up her running shoes, the supportive smiles of her friends and family, the cheers of the crowds at previous races, the disappointment of injuries, the agony of stress fractures, and the quiet moments of training when she questioned her limits. All of it culminated in this moment on the marathon course. Then came the 20th mile, a dreaded stretch of the marathon known as the wall. It was here that many runners hit their physical and mental limits, where the grueling distance of the marathon truly tested their mettle. For Sarah, the wall was a formidable opponent, but she was prepared. She had trained for this, pushing through exhaustion, battling injuries, and silencing the nagging doubts. As she faced the wall, she knew that the outcome would not be determined by the physical distance, but by the strength of her spirit. With a deep breath, she began her ascent. The miles dragged by, each one a testament to Sarah's unwavering determination. Her pace slowed, her steps became heavier, but she didn't falter. She leaned into the pain, embracing it as a measure of her progress, as a confirmation that she was pushing her limits. The roar of the crowd grew fainter, replaced by the pounding of her feet on the pavement and the relentless ticking of the clock. It was a battle between Sarah and the marathon, a test of endurance, a war of attrition. Then suddenly, through the haze of exhaustion, Sarah saw it, the finish line. It was like a mirage, shimmering in the distance. At that moment, the pain receded, replaced by a surge of adrenaline. The finish line wasn't just a ribbon at the end of a race. It represented everything Sarah had endured, every mile she had run, every sacrifice she had made, every doubt she had overcome. With renewed vigor, Sarah surged forward, her steps quickening, her gaze unwavering. She had come too far to give up now. The finish line beckoned, promising not just an end to the marathon, but a celebration of her triumph. With a final burst of energy, Sarah crossed the line. The fatigue, the pain, the exhaustion, it all seemed to fade away in that instant. All that remained was the overwhelming sensation of accomplishment. As the crowd cheered, the clock ticked, marking not just the end of a race, but the beginning of a new chapter in Sarah's life. She had conquered the marathon, but more importantly, she had conquered herself. In the aftermath of the marathon, Sarah's story didn't end at the finish line. It continued in the cheers of the crowd, the congratulations of her peers, the pride in her coach's eyes, and the love in her family's embrace. Her journey became an inspiration, a testament to the indomitable spirit that resided within her. Through her story, others found strength to pursue their dreams, to push past their perceived limitations, and to chase their own versions of the finish line. For Sarah, the marathon wasn't just a race. It was a metaphor for life, a testament to the strength of the human spirit, and a celebration of the triumph of determination over adversity. If you liked the story, please remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future updates. Your support means the world to us. Thank you and happy running.